Hi everybody!
Hello.
Happy 2025.
Hello.
We're back. It's the new year. It's the new us. We've got new things.
We don't. New Year, same shit.
Yeah, I guess. But this is a special episode.
Oh yeah, it is.
Because this episode was sponsored by our Club Mesmeron, Marley the Changeling.
Hot damn.
Who requested that we look at Pretty Rhythm, Aurora Dream.
I'm gonna need to be reminded how this is video games.
Oh, we'll get to it, but first we gotta listen to the theme song.
Okay.
Here it
Do
is.
you think we're gonna get copyright struck for it?
100%. Yeah, if you're on YouTube and you don't hear a song here, that's what happened.
That's YouTube coming down on us.
So what did you think of the theme song?
It's fine. It's every Idol song.
It's pretty cute. I thought it was pretty catchy, but I really didn't like the way they said "Let's dance."
Why?
I don't know, there's something really creepy about the way they said it. Let's dance!
Come on, children, let's dance.
I think it's supposed to be the little animal mascots who say it, and I think they look creepy as well, so...
They do look a little creepy.
It's not a... That's a very, 1980s, we haven't quite figured out how to make animals cute yet design.
You say that, but, the 1980s was a little bit weird for animal designs, and then they got cute, and then they got ugly again.
Oh, I mean, yeah. You say that, and what immediately comes to my mind is Beanie Babies.
That's literally what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Those big giant freak eyes.
Yeah, Beanie Babies were really cute in the 90s, and now they're abominations.
Or the LOL dolls that are just 90% eyeballs and these freakishly large heads.
Oh, I don't know those.
You don't want to know them.
Well, here comes the part where we learn about the video game.
Do it.
So, Pretty Rhythm Miniskirt was the first game.
Okay.
It was released in 2010 for arcades. It was made by Sin Sophia Inc., formerly AKI Corporation, formerly The Man Breeze.
The Man Breeze?
Yeah, I don't know. They started out making pro wrestling games. In fact, they made most of the N64 WWF games back when WWE was still called WWF.
I love that.
Yeah, and then they made a bunch of Kinnikuman games. But then after they changed their name to Sin Sophia, they've mostly been making girl-focused games, which feels like a complete reversal.
I'm sorry, I don't understand how you think this is a demographic shift.
They also made the Style Savvy games for Nintendo.
Oh.
I've been really tempted by the style savvy games a couple of times.
Do you think your style is savvy enough?
I don't think I'd be any good at them.
No.
But I like the art. I like the art style of them. And Nintendo, when they put a trailer for them in a Nintendo Direct, I'm always like, you know what? I wouldn't think I would like this game, but Nintendo Direct is telling me to buy it.
I too could be a pretty girl.
And the game was published by Takara Tomy, a merger of two toy companies, Takara and Tomy. Between them, they are known for the Transformers series, which they made with Hasbro. So Takara made Diaclone and Microchange, which are the two sort of not particularly successful Japanese toys that Hasbro bought the rights to and combined into Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't keep track for all of these, whether it was a Takara thing or a Tomy thing, but one of the two of them is responsible for Beyblade,
Ooh.
Beat-A-Man,
Ooh.
Screwball Scramble.
What?
Did you never have Screwball Scramble?
It is not ringing a single bell.
I loved Screwball Scramble when I was a kid.
No, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
So you have a little like metal ball and you put it at the starting thing, and then you have all these like buttons that control these different obstacles, and the aim is to get the ball all the way to the end of the thing.
Okay.
It was fun. I liked it.
It looks pretty fun.
And they also made Pop-Up Pirate. Do you know Pop-Up Pirate?
Oh, I know Pop-Up Pirate.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's been refreshed in my memory because I've been reading through Higurashi and he makes an appearance in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Very brief cameo, but he's there.
So yeah, that's all Takara Tomy stuff. This game is a rhythm arcade game. You dress your character using things called Prism Stones, which are little heart-shaped gems that come in 6 different colors. They cost about 100 yen each, and each color represents a different fashion type. The types are star, lovely, pop, feminine, ethnic, cool, and sexy.
Okay.
Wait, that's 7.
Which one would you pick?
Probably cool.
Yeah, you're boring.
What about you?
Clearly I would pick feminine.
Yeah?
No.
What about ethnic?
Maybe, yeah.
I don't
I'm
know
not
what that
entirely
means.
sure what that means.
Anyway, you also get a card called a memory pass, which you use to save the game.
Yeah, it sounds like what they do with rhythm games nowadays, where you get like a card for your own profile.
Yeah, basically. This might have been a kind of a pioneer of that.
Wow.
The games were updated continually with new fashion items and features, which was split up into seasons. And then for season 4, the game was renamed Pretty Rhythm Aurora Dream to tie in with the anime.
Oh.
Eventually, they ended service in 2014 when Pretty Rhythm was replaced with Prepara, which is short for Pretty Paradise.
I've heard of that.
Most of the Prism Stones were still compatible with it, apparently, but it sounds like they stopped making new Prism Stones.
So this is just like a dance game, right?
It's like a fashion dance, yeah, basically. In 2018, Prepara ended service as well and was replaced with Kirato Pre-chan.
Okay.
And I think that one's still going, or it at least wasn't replaced with anything else. They're all grouped together as the Pretty series. And they've also got a spin-off series called King of Prism, which focuses on male characters instead.
King of Prism.
So that's the games. There's not too much information about them out there, unfortunately. I tried to find footage of Pretty Rhythm, the original like arcade machines, but I couldn't find any, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just kind of lost media.
I'm looking at a picture of one of the newer ones now. I was gonna say, I wonder if they have any of these at MagFest, but I feel like I would remember a machine this pink in anime.
I think it's a very Japanese thing. I don't think any of them have been released in English.
No, but MagFest does stuff like that. Like, I don't think Waka ever made it overseas, and like all of the menus were completely...
Right, but I think the Pretty Rhythm games all like require a constant online connection and stuff as well, so it's maybe more complicated. I'm not sure though. It's hard to know because most of the information that's out there on the English-speaking internet is just about the anime.
Yeah.
Speaking of which...
That's what we're here for!
Pretty Rhythm Aurora Dream first aired on April 9th, 2011 on TV Tokyo. It had 51 episodes, but then it also had 2 sequel series as well. And then there's also a movie, and there was a series that was just like a best of the 3 previous series.
Yeah.
Like re-airing old episodes. So it obviously did pretty well.
What is the plot?
Of the show?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we just follow the lives of these characters.
It's like a slice of life.
Slice of life idol girl. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what did you glean from... We both watched the same show.
I know, but... it's... this genre is not for me.
I do know that some of these characters grow up and get married in later seasons, so...
Okay.
So there's some, I guess, some like passing the torch stuff that goes on as well.
Okay.
But it was produced by Tatsunoko, one of the oldest anime studios out there. This is the studio that made Speed Racer and Gatchaman and Time Bokan. They've been around since the 60s.
Cool.
This episode was called A Star is Born. And it's written by Deko Akao, which is the pen name, apparently, of Hitomi Mieno, a singer.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a singer who, under her pen name, writes anime, and she's written a lot of anime. There was a huge list.
Dang.
She wrote all of the Pretty Rhythm anime, all 3 shows.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote the Komi Can't Communicate anime. I've heard of that. And she's also written for Pokemon and Yokai Watch and the Professor Layton anime.
I forgot that had an anime.
Yeah, but it's about his daughter, I think. We'll watch it.
Yeah. In about 5 years.
Well, we should watch the movie's about him, so we should watch that first. And then we can watch the show about his daughter. So, the show begins. And the first thing we see is a bunch of things that girls are apparently meant to do. I had mixed feelings about this.
This is exactly why I can't get into shows like this. I've never been able to get into shows like this that are like unapologetically feminine.
Right. So here's my take on this. I think they were trying to go for any girl can be an idol.
Yeah.
But instead they kind of landed on every girl should be an idol. Which is not as good a message.
No, if you're not aspiring to be an idol, you're wasting your life.
Yeah, because it's like all girls are meant to dance and flaunt their beauty on stage and sing. And I'm like, are they? Do they all want to do that?
Yeah, what you need to do is you need to get into those K-pop idol schools where you dance for 12 hours, you eat a handful of rice, maybe you get the whole handful, and get plastic surgery. That's what you should aspire for.
Yeah, I don't know that they landed on the message they meant to here. So the show actually opens with a live action segment, and you haven't seen that.
No.
Because I couldn't find a version of it that was subtitled. All the subtitled versions of this show I could find have cut out all of the live action segments.
Weird.
Which is a shame.
Yeah.
But I watched it. I checked it out. The live action segment is in a set which is based on the Prism Stone shop.
Okay.
Which opened in real life the same month in Yokohama.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It was a place. At first, I wondered if they filmed this in the real shop, but then I noticed that the shop they were in did not have a ceiling, so I figured probably not.
Maybe it just doesn't have a ceiling. You don't know.
Maybe. It's like that Fresh Prince cold open.
I was gonna say it, but I was like, there's no way Mike would remember that.
Of course I remember that. So for anyone who doesn't remember that, there's a cold open. I don't know what episode it is, but one of the Fresh Prince episodes has a cold open where I think all of the bank's kids are like worrying about money for a second, and then they suddenly realize they're rich and they calm down and they walk out. And then Will Smith is left sitting alone on the couch, and then he's like,
"We so rich."
And then he looks up and the camera pans up to show all the studio lights above the set. He says,
"Why we can't afford no ceiling?"
Yeah, it's the first thing I thought of when I saw this set.
I love the Fresh Prince.
I love the Fresh Prince too. The Prism Stone shop opened in Yokohama in April 2011, and it sold pretty fashion merch, and it hosted arcade machines as well. By 2016, there were Prism Stone shops in Harajuku, Akihabara, Odaiba, and at the Tokyo Dome. So, and it sounds like they're still around.
Good for them.
It sounds like, although Pretty Rhythm shut down, it seems like Prism Stone stuck around as a clothing brand for like tweens.
Yeah.
So I think that's nice.
Me too. Tweens need clothes.
This segment was hosted by Akina Minami, a gravure idol. She appeared in the fourth Kamen Rider Den-O movie as Toki. And I knew her because she appeared on a bunch of posters in Metal Gear Solid 4. Also, apparently, she is playable as a Saiyan in Dragon Ball Heroes.
Why?
So Dragon Ball Heroes was an arcade game, kind of in a similar-ish vibe to this, where you would buy cards from vending machines, and then those cards would give you like playable heroes in the game, in the arcade game. And I guess at some point they did some kind of tie-in with her, and they made a card of her, which would give you her as a Super Saiyan.
That's incredible.
It's really good. I think I don't know a lot about Dragon Ball, but I feel like there aren't any female Saiyans. But maybe I'm wrong. I could be. Maybe I just don't know about any.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I can't confirm or deny.
So anyway, she introduces the Prism Stone shop, and then she introduces the Prism Mates, which are 3 young girls who serve as the co-hosts to her in this. Their names are Reina, Mia, and Karine. And the 3 of them would later debut as an idol group of their own, known as Prismy.
Oh, I like that all of this is like creating a universe within itself, sort of.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently being the Prism Mates was part of their pre-debut training as idols. So that's the end of the live action segment. Now we go straight into the show, where we start off seeing Kanzaki Sonata performing her legendary jump, Aurora Rising. I thought for sure this was something from the game, but as far as I can tell, it's not. I mean,
just some girl.
Aurora Rising might be a Prism Jump from the games, I don't know, but it doesn't sound like Kanzaki Sonata was from the game. But there's not a lot of information about the games online, so I'm not entirely sure. The show goes back and forth between 2D and 3D.
Yeah, in the figure skating sections.
Yeah, it's usually 3D when the girls are skating or dancing. I don't think the 3D looks particularly great.
It doesn't look bad, but...
There are a bunch of shots where they use a lot of motion blur to try and hide that the 3D doesn't look that good, and in my opinion, it makes it look even worse.
It just kind of looks like it's smudged.
Yeah, not great. So this performance is happening on TV, and then Ira, our main character, trips and falls in front of the TV, and the TV turns off. Immediately, I'm confused.
Why?
Because she's mad, and she wants to know who turned off the TV because it was just getting good. But then...
It was you!
It was her. And then, when she turns it back on, it's like she's seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, it was just getting good. But then she turns it back on, and she's like, huh? Ice skating?
I was just watching wrestling. What is this?
She must have hit her head pretty hard.
It's told to us multiple times throughout this episode that she is klutzy.
Yeah, it's very clear. Aira Harune is played by Kana Asumi, who is also the voice of Felicia from Darkstalkers.
Oh.
That's the cat girl, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. She also played Yomogi, the chef in Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh, okay.
So we know her.
Yeah, we've met her.
She's Lisa in Fire Emblem, and she's Annette in Rune Factory Frontier.
Oh, I haven't played Frontier.
Yeah, I didn't think you had. Yeah, Aira was introduced in Aurora Dream as the new main character for that season of the game. And we meet her siblings here, her brother and her two sisters, who explain the concept of Prism shows to her. Her siblings are all clearly fans of this, and Prism shows have been going on for like 12 years, but somehow Aira has never heard of them.
Well, it's because her dad has forbidden her from dreaming of being anything but a chef.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. It's just funny, like, I don't know about you, but when my siblings are into something, even if I don't care about it, I at least know that it exists.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't really care that much about Sanrio. I think the characters are cute. But my sister's huge into Sanrio, so I know who Mimi is. I know who Dear Daniel is.
You know who Big Challenges is.
Oh, yeah, okay, but that's not related to my sister. I just love big challenges.
Me too. Yeah, even though my siblings are older, when they were into something, that was all that was going on in the house.
Yeah.
There was so much Halo all the time. That's why I had never got into the series, because I'm like, I'm tired of looking at this.
Yeah, but you know a ton about it, right?
I wouldn't say a ton.
We
Like,
know
I'm
that
familiar
Master
with it.
Chief murdered an ODST in the gym.
I forgot that part. Like, I don't remember the plot, because my brothers were mostly playing multiplayer and just killing each other.
Right. Okay, Itsuki is played by Motoko Kumai, who played Lee in Cardcaptor Sakura, played
Okay.
Sukamon in Digimon Adventure, which is the big yellow poop monster.
Yeah, poop monster. What a thing to put on your resume.
Takao in Beyblade, which is the main guy, who's called Tyson in English. And then when in the dubbing portion of their career, they played Babe,
The pig?
the pig, the sheep pig, Gibby in iCarly, young Michael Jordan in Space Jam, Dora the Explorer herself,
Oh, wow.
Spike in My Little Pony, and close to home for us, they were the voice of Polly Roger in Donkey Kong Country. We just learned about Polly Roger the last time we watched it.
We did. It's so fresh I had completely forgotten.
It has been like a month and a half.
I know.
And then we've got the two twin girls, Eru, the orange twin, and Uru, the yellow twin, who are played by Hiro Nakajima and Aki Nakajima, real-life twin sisters.
That's interesting. You'd think they'd just get one person to do both voices.
That's kind of what I assumed it would be, yeah. And the fun thing about animation is that you don't need to get real twins to play twins.
Yeah, but they did it anyway.
They did it anyway. These seem to be the biggest roles these twins have had. They mostly play unnamed background characters in things. Because, I mean, when you're when you're two twin voice actors, it's like, we can play twins. And they're like, okay, so can anyone.
Or we could just hire one of you and then you just voice both lines.
Yeah, it's like... like the opposite of like the Olsen twins when they were playing kids when they were babies.
Right. Took two of them to play one.
Eru and Uru encourage Aira to try a Prism show. Itsuki says that she's too much of a klutz, and he's right.
She immediately eats shit.
Yeah, it looked like she broke her ankle to me.
I just wish that they would includes some bruises, some scrapes, some broken bones on this woman who falls every other second.
It would be really funny if she had band-aids. Like 2 different band-aids, and every scene they're in different places.
That's how you do klutzy, because otherwise klutzy is like shorthand for our character is too perfect, but we need to give her an endearing flaw.
Yeah.
So if we see like some actual klutzy bruises, that would be great.
Yeah, we want to see some battle damage.
Yeah.
So Ira overhears on the TV that Mion Takamine is making her debut at the show today.
I like that she knows who Mion is, but doesn't know anything about Prism shows.
Right. This is where, because now Itsuki is the one who has never heard of Mion.
Right.
Wouldn't it have made more sense if he was the one who hadn't heard of any of this?
Listen. Shut up.
Because then Ira could have explained all of it to him, and we still would have got the explanation.
Yeah, and then she still would have been a Mion stan.
Yeah, it would. I think it would have made more sense. If she's such a Mion stan, shouldn't she know that Mion's making her idol debut?
You would think.
Anyway, apparently Mion is the most famous teenage idol in Japan, and we see a little video of her, clearly shot in Paris.
Standing in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Saying that she's going to be showcasing Western fashions. Mion only has one line in this episode, but she is played by Azusa Enoki, who played Uta, the human protagonist of Onegai My Melody. She's also Nagisa in Squid Girl, and Sarah in Jewel Pet Twinkle, and Sakura in Penguin Girl. You wouldn't really know it from this episode, but Mion is one of the tritagonists of this show.
Yeah, she's in the opening,
Yeah.
I guessed.
She was a playable character in the game, but not yet, because Aurora Dreams started with Season 4 of the game, and Mion wasn't introduced as a playable character until Season 7, from what I can tell. So, Anyway, we don't need to... Well, I guess we will be talking about Mion more, but only in, like, passing. Nobody ever stops talking about Mion this whole episode, but she doesn't appear again.
No, she's all over this episode, but we never see her.
This is where Ira's dad enters in a full chef uniform, so there's no confusion about what he does for a living.
Right, he's got that huge chef hat on just to make sure.
Yeah. He comes in and he asks Ira to go out and buy more blueberries and kiwis for his cakes. And he's immediately furious that his children are watching the Prism show.
I was hoping, because at first we don't know why he freaks out when he sees the Prism show on TV. I thought he was going to be a huge fan, and I would have loved that. But he's just like, no dreams outside of being a chef.
Yeah, he's just really worried that the Prism show is going to give them ideas of doing anything other than taking over the patisserie when they grow up.
Right.
His name is Hiroshi. He's played by Nozomu Sasaki, who played Ariel in Card Captors, Mello in Death Note. He played Clef in Magic Knight Rayearth, Hathaway in Gundam, and Yusuke in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Okay.
The main guy.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah. He doesn't want Ira going out dressed like a normal person.
He wants her to go out dressed like a cute Lolita.
She's dressed like a cake.
She is dressed like a cake.
It's a big strawberry cake. She looks like Princess Peach baked her.
Listen, I low-key love it.
But would you go out to the store in it?
Maybe.
Well, I can't ask you. You're a freak.
Like, especially during COVID, when we had nowhere to go, we'd be like, you want to get dressed up and go to the grocery store?
Well, she hates the dress. Her mom enters, sees the dress, and in the space of like 2 seconds, has turned it into 2 cute little dresses for the twins.
It's very confusing. I don't understand how it happened.
Right, because no time passed.
How or why it happened.
There can't have been any time passed because nobody would have been watching the store, which is still open downstairs. And, anyway.
She even makes little bags for the girls.
Yeah, she calls it a pretty remake, which I think must be something from the game. One of the seasons was called Pretty Remake, I think. But I think that was after. I think the Pretty Remake season is the season that introduced Mion as a playable character. So I don't know if that was already a thing in the game or if the show introduced the phrase. But anyway, the mom's name is Omi. She's played by Noriko Hidaka, who was the voice of Ai, Mimi, and Baby in Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania.
Cool.
She also plays Erika from Sakura Wars. She played Fina in Grandia, one of my first video game crushes.
Oh no.
And she was the voice of Pino in Wonder Project J, which is a game I played last year and freaking loved. It's that Super Nintendo game that only came out in Japan originally. I told you all about it because I was really impressed with it.
I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, what was that game called?
Yeah, Wonder Project J. There's a really good fan translation of it by... one of the people who worked on it is also the person who did the Mother 3 fan translation. And who writes those translation books that I love.
Oh, cool.
The one that you got me.
The one that I got you twice.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's great. Everybody find Wonder Project J and play it. It was one of my favorite games that I played last... I was going to say favorite games of last year, but it's from like 1995, so...
It counts. It's your last year.
Yeah. She also played Nia in Death Note and Masumi in Detective Conan. And a Higurashi character who I don't know. It's
Who?
Iua? It's spelled E-U-A.
I don't know who that is.
Might be from one of the like Higurashi sequels or something.
Yeah. Maybe it's from like the console chapters. I haven't gotten there yet.
Maybe. She also played Kikyo in Inuyasha.
I do know her.
The two actors playing their parents are some of the most famous actors in this, I think. They've got really wide and varied roles and like some really major characters in some really major things.
Yeah.
So Mom drags Dad back to work and Ira heads out to get the ingredients, and we're reminded again that she's clumsy as she leaves.
Why did her dad buy a giant Lolita cake outfit?
I don't know, and I really hope that the subtitle we got about it was a poor translation, because her mom says something about him using Ira to satisfy his fetishes.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I hope that's not exactly what that meant.
I don't know, because when I watched that scene, it was definitely giving me some Higurashi vibes about Irie, the doctor, and his weird maid fetishes.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to like the dad, so I'm choosing to believe that that's not what was going on. I think he just sees Ira as his little girl still, and he just wants to dress her up.
That's a big cake.
It's a big cake. I mean, he's a baker.
I guess.
Ira gets the ingredients without issue and then decides to go window shopping. And I really love the way the background characters are handled in this show.
How so?
So any character who isn't important is just a brightly colored silhouette with a gradient to white.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it gives the show a really distinct look, and I really like it. Probably saved a lot of time for the background artists, too.
A lot of time and a lot of money.
Yeah. But it looks nice. I like it. This is one of the reasons I was trying to find footage of the games, because I was wondering if that's how the crowds look during the shows in the games.
Oh, maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I couldn't find any footage to confirm or deny that. So Ira's looking at mannequins in the clothes stores, and she doesn't like any of the fits.
I have some feelings about what she does to them.
Oh, yeah?
She doesn't like any of the fits, so she redoes all of them. I'm like, these are worse, though.
Do you think?
I think she redoes them in a very tween kind of style. Like, I don't think that they're bad, but, like, she takes them from looking like older women to just dressing them all like tweens. Yeah,
in a very, like, mismatch style.
Yeah, kind of like a pop punk princess kind of style.
Yeah, okay. I didn't like any of them at first either, so...
I mean, I don't love them, but, like, there's a sense of style. Like you could see an older woman wearing them.
Yeah.
They look like more cohesive fits, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. They look like an outfit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's a man searching for Mion who spots Ira doing this.
And he's so impressed by her mismatched tween style.
Hey, it's what the kids want.
I suppose.
This is Jun Takigawa, who is played by Susumu Chiba, who I knew from Valkyria Chronicles. He played the main character, Welkin Gunther.
Oh.
It's been a long time since I played Valkyria Chronicles. Remember when I showed you all those screenshots of how I broke the game and fell through the world?
I was gonna say, is that the one where you climbed the ladder and fell into the skybox?
In one of the stages, consistently, if you climb this one particular ladder, you fall through the world and just fall forever.
And you have to restart the entire battle.
Yeah, and I took a bunch of screenshots of the world above me disappearing as I fell.
Deeper and deeper into the void.
He also played Eld in Attack on Titan and Seiji in Cutie Honey Flash. And
Cutie Honey Flash.
Isao in Gintama. I don't know any of these things.
I've heard of Gintama.
I've heard of all of
it.
them, but I've never watched any of them. But he did play the main Deoxys in the Pokemon Deoxys movie, and I know that. That was a good movie.
Wow.
Ira gets scolded by a shopkeeper and makes a run for it. She didn't need to run.
But she did.
Like, the shopkeeper was very calm. Was just like, hey, please don't do this.
I mean, I don't think she thought that she was, like, in trouble, but she ran off, like, giggling like a schoolgirl.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess that's what she is.
Just like, tee-hee, I've been a bit mischievous. I've been a bit naughty.
They have to fix all those mannequins. And this is where she finds the Prism Stone store and delivers a shameless commercial for it.
I want to buy everything in here. Everything is perfect and cute.
Go tell your parents. She goes, or she doesn't go inside, but she walks up to the windows of the Prism Stone store, and we see that the man from before is following her.
Not creepy in any way.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be finding Mion, and he's just following this girl around.
Yeah, because he saw her messing up some mannequins. And getting shouted at. Well, not shouted at, but getting,
scolded.
Judged. Yeah. I feel like even scolded is a strong word. It was really just like,
hey man, stop.
Yeah. Even that, it was just like, excuse me, please don't do that.
I don't make enough money to put up with this.
So she's looking at an idol costume that's on display in the Prism Stone shop, and she's imagining herself performing in it.
Because she's like superimposed, her reflection is superimposed over the outfit.
Yeah.
So we can see what she would look like.
Yeah. And then this girl shows up running by, and I don't know why she's like in disguise.
We'll find out eventually, I'm sure.
Will we? We don't in this episode.
No, we don't learn anything in this episode.
That's true. So yeah, this girl runs through. She's got a hat pulled down over her eyes. She's wearing a big old hoodie, and she almost bumps into Ira, but they both do like semi-prism jumps to avoid each other.
It's unclear.
I mean, Ira's ends in a faceplant, but
the other girl who jumped better and higher lands perfectly.
Yeah, and the stalker sees this and he's mesmerized by it.
He was already mesmerized when Ira was just posing. He's like, clearly she is a figure skater.
He's just like, stars! When they're jumping, something like that.
That's a prism pose if ever I've seen one on a random girl I followed to the store.
And I followed many random girls in the store. Yeah, the other girl helps Ira up, but then she keeps running without introducing herself. I will talk about her when she does introduce herself.
Spoilers!
But the stalker man suddenly kidnaps Ira.
Yeah, he's just like, I need you for something.
No, at first he's like, hey, would you mind coming with me? And then before she answers, he grabs her hand and starts running.
She still has all those fruits that she needs to get to the bakery.
Young girls out there, if this happens to you, scream for help.
Do not let this person carry you away.
Does she still have the bag at this point?
She has a bag. It doesn't look like it's the same bag anymore. It looks like it's turned into a handbag.
At some point, yeah, because it was a shopping bag at first. At some point, I feel like the bag just vanishes, but I don't know at what point that is.
She still has a bag.
We never see the fruits make it to her father.
Would you say that it's a fruitless effort?
No, shut up. Meanwhile, there's a huge crowd watching a boy band perform.
This whole time, I kept forgetting that this is about, like, figure skating. I keep thinking that they're just regular idols.
I mean, is it really about figure skating?
I don't know.
Because I keep forgetting too.
That's like magical girl figure skating, but they're just idols.
Kyoko is here high above watching the show, and she's stressing about where Mion is. She's, I guess, in charge of the idol group.
The manager or something.
She is played by Risa Hayamisu, who played Matako in Gintama, and Maya in Amagami SS, and Maria in Big Wind Up. I don't know what any of those are.
No, me neither. Well, I've heard of Gintama, again.
Oh yeah, Gintama's the only one I have heard of those. But she also played Rei in Akiba's Trip.
Oh.
I know you've
Which
played
one?
that. I think she's...
I played Undead and Undressed.
Okay, it sounded like she was in all of them.
I don't remember who anybody is.
Okay. It has been like 10 years.
Yeah.
So the band on stage is called Callings. They are made up of Sho, Wataru, and Hibiki. Sho is played by Takashi Kondo, who played Faust and Potemkin in Guilty Gear, and is the voice of Terry Bogard in the King of Fighters series.
Okay.
He also played Trevor Belmont in Castlevania Judgment.
I know him.
But I think he only played him in Judgment.
That makes sense, yeah.
Hibiki is played by Ken, all caps, 2 N's.
2 N's, so you know.
We've talked about him before because he played Jill, the protagonist of the Tower of Jiraga show that we watched.
Oh.
And Wataru is played by Nobuhiko Okamoto, who plays Kai in Beastars, Genya in Demon Slayer, Ryo in Food Wars, Yu in Haikyuu, Saryu in Inazuma 11, and Origami Cyclone in Tiger and Bunny. I don't know.
I've never watched any of those.
No, I haven't seen any of them either, but it seemed like it was pretty major characters in all of them, so
yeah.
good for him. And every single one of them is at least something I've heard of before.
Yeah.
I know they're all popular. So Jun drags Ira through the crowd and to the backstage room where Kyoko is, where he announces that she's going to go on stage instead of Mion.
I was so confused.
Jun is a lunatic who should be fired.
Because, like, ice skating isn't one of those things that you can just naturally pick up. Like, if you've never ice skated before and somebody throws you into the rink, you're not going to be doing prism jumps. You're probably not even going to be on your feet most of the time.
I am losing my mind.
Yeah.
So, this is the big show, right?
It's a very big show.
They're about to introduce the most popular teenage idol in Japan.
Yeah.
And she's not showed up.
Yeah.
And this company don't have a backup.
No.
And the best they can do is grab a random girl who one guy saw in the mall, fall flat on her face. And then he's like, "This is the girl." I watched her deface a bunch of mannequins and then trip and fall down onto her face. She's the one.
Oh no. It hurts because that's exactly what happened. He's a lunatic, and he's my favorite character.
I think he's trying to get fired. That was my first.
I'm tired of looking after this damn idol.
This was my first thought, right? You know, the Simpsons episode where Lisa wants to get on the news to like give a speech, and she lies about what she's there for.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, this little girl now has something to say about this issue that we're talking about. And then she like instead gives a heartfelt speech about enjoying books and stuff.
Right.
And then you see the two guys like in the booth, and one of them is like,
"What is she doing out there?" I'll cut off her mic.
No. Let her speak. I'm trying to get fired.
that's what came to mind with this.
Maybe. I hope every episode he shows up and just does something increasingly unhinged.
I found this skunk in the street. It can go on instead of me on.
It's not even alive.
Yeah,
I know, it's great.
I hit it with my car, and I knew at that moment.
He just slides it across the ring.
He's like in front of it, polishing the eyes. Like it's a curling stone.
A dead skunk.
Leading it in circles to complete silence from the audience. No music.
They're speechless. We're doing it.
Anyway, it's already time for Mion to go on stage.
He just shows up, introduces her, and says, "Get out there. It's your job now."
Right. And she's had no training, rehearsal.
No. But he gives her a prism stone.
He gives her a fistful of prism stones.
That's training enough. I know you've never ice skated before, but here, some tacky gems.
Also, the girl from earlier who bumped into Ira, it suddenly appears. Suddenly in this backstage room.
She stalked the stalker.
How did she get in this backstage room on her own?
She stalked the stalker.
And she just demands to be in the show too. And they're just like, yeah, all right.
We got no other ideas.
Like, are they a brand new company? Is this their first day?
Maybe.
They've got no idols except for these three boys and Mion. Like, listen, I've played Idol Simulator.
That's basically real life.
You got, like, dozens of these girls in an idol company, usually.
They're all interchangeable.
Yeah.
Idols are nothing. They're things for me to use.
Anyway, this girl is Rhythm or Rizumu, depending on... Like, all the wikis and everything call her Rizumu. It is pretty clear to me that her name is Rhythm.
It's Shiruba the Hedgehog.
Yeah, exactly. It's spelled Soniku.
It's Knukle.
So Rhythm is actually the original protagonist of the first season of the game.
Oh, so she's like a fallen idol who's come back from the dead.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the lore is here. Because she does say that she's never been on stage.
Maybe she's lying.
Maybe. Rhythm Amamiya, played by Sayuri Hara, who played Tomoyo in Aikatsu, Chiaki in Laid Back Camp.
Oh, I've heard of that.
I haven't. Good for you. But I have heard of Idolmaster, in which she plays Mio. And I've also heard of Puyo Puyo, where she plays Chico.
The Puyo Puyo.
I love Puyo Puyo. Why isn't there a Puyo Puyo anime?
You just drop blocks for half an hour.
I just want to see the fish with arms and legs. That guy's so cool. When I was looking up who Chico was, I had to go to the wiki page for that fish too, because I love him. And I saw what he actually looked like in the original. Because Puyo Puyo is a spin-off of what used to be an RPG series. I can't think of the name of it right now. And he was a much more realistic fish back then.
Oh no.
Back when he was a boss in these RPGs.
Not as much charisma.
Hang on. I'm going to find you the picture. What's his name? It's like
Suketodara!
Yeah, how did you know that?
Because I'm looking at his picture.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's great. I love him. Where did I find... It's way down. Here he is. So this is how he looked originally.
Oh, I love him.
Mado Monogatari. That was the original series name.
I love him.
He's great. I love him normally, but I really love this original design of him.
Just a normal fish with human arms and legs.
Yeah.
Smoking a pipe. What a cool dude.
Yeah, he's great. His whole thing, if I remember rightly, is that he just loves to dance.
Good.
And he just wants to show everyone his dances.
Good for him.
Jun tells Kyoko not to worry, and he's going to explain things to her later, after the show has been a disaster.
Right.
He takes the girls away, and he gives them each a fistful of prism stones, and sends them into a magical void to get changed.
Where a woman lives.
Yeah. Her name is Megani Akai, which apparently basically just means red glasses.
Yeah.
She seems to be a normal human who lives in the void of dresses.
Do they have to, go in there to feed her?
Maybe she just feeds on the dresses.
Maybe.
These are all organic.
Maybe she feeds on the hopes and dreams of aspiring idols.
Maybe. She is played by Kanae Ito, who played Ai, Yumi, and Mayumi in Persona 4.
Okay.
She plays Eri in the Yakuza series, Hibari in the God Eater series.
I don't remember.
No, me neither. She's Kokone in Aikatsu. She played Carrot in One Piece, Sanae in Squid Girl, Yui in Sword Art Online, and Terry Chocolate in Sylvanian Families.
Yes! Over Christmas, Kevin was looking for something for his nieces, and we were at the bookstore that also sells toys, and there was some Sylvanian Families. I was like, oh, Kevin, get her these! And he's like, I need something that's... he's like, that's for, young kids. I was like, Kevin, these are for all ages.
I love Sylvanian
Look how wholesome they are.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
I always wanted them when I was a kid, but they're expensive.
I know they are.
I didn't even know at the time that they were Japanese, but it makes so much sense to learn that.
Because they're tiny and perfect.
Yeah, because they're wonderful. The handful of stones that Jun gives to the girls are all white stones.
Yes.
Which I think means they're star type prism stones. Based on my research, that seems to be what that means.
Okay.
Megane gets them to stand on a pedestal while she scans their prism stones to give them outfits. And Ira gets the outfit she was looking at the prism stone shop earlier.
What are the odds?
It's apparently known as the Fresh Pink set.
Fresh Pink of Bel Air?
Yeah. And Rhythm gets the Starshine set.
She looks like Akita Neru, the fake Miku.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, these are all clothes that you can really get in the game. They get out on the ice and Ira immediately falls down and does not get back up.
Immediately.
So Rhythm does this whole song and dance, right? And she skates around a bunch.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Well, she's clearly pretty adept at ice skating.
Yeah, but the crowd hates her.
Right, they're like, what is that pathetic fucking jump? I didn't see a single sparkle.
She does 3 spins before she hits the ground again. Or hits the ice again.
Yeah, a full dance routine into 3 spins, and they're just like, boo, fucking boo. And Ira's like, that was such a good jump. And even Kyoko is up in the top judgmental section, like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. She says she overestimated her or something. I was like, Kyoko,
Right.
I don't think that you really had any say in any of this.
You didn't estimate anyone or anything. This was thrust upon you.
This was thrust upon everyone in this situation. I actually, to be fair, I think Rhythm's the only one who wanted to be there.
Yes.
Ira, who is still sitting on the floor, gets yelled at by Jun, the man who forced her into this against her will. He's like, "What are you doing?"
You're letting your costume go to waste.
I didn't kidnap you from the mall and throw you into this situation so you could just sit on the ice.
I didn't show you my pocket dimension full of dresses for nothing.
My pocket dimension.
That's what it is.
Yeah, no, it is.
You're gonna be trapped in there with red glasses, and I'm gonna have to feed you.
So she gets up and she skates around a bit, and then she does a prism jump.
Right, she can suddenly skate.
Oh yeah, the clumsiest girl in the world. But put her on the ice and she's a natural.
Put her in a magic dress, and she can do a prism jump.
She does a prism jump called Fresh Fruits Basket, which fills the sky with fruits. Are these the fruits that she got for her dad?
Maybe. That's where they went.
Is that we don't see it, but she's still wearing the bag as she skates, and then while she twirls in the air, all the fruits just fly out of the bag and into the crowd.
Ow, that one got me in the eye.
Oh, kiwi. She winks at the crowd. We didn't mention it, but she was talking earlier about how Mion winks. Apparently,
yeah,
that's like the main thing Mion does. And
wink. She's known for her winking. Wow. Yeah. What a talented young girl.
She was like, "Just once, I wish I could wink like Mion does." And I was like, "Ira, you just gotta close one eye."
Every time she tries, she just blinks. I don't get it. How does she do it?
Every time she tries, she falls over. The force of her eyelid closing knocks her down.
You see her in the next scene and she has an eye patch on.
But anyway, she winks at the crowd and the crowd goes wild for it.
And then she falls.
And then she falls. Not only does she fall, but she falls like all the way into the backstage area.
Yeah, assaults a man.
Lands on one of the Callings members. I think it was Sho. And then he gives her a kiss on the forehead. Which is like, that's too much like young adult fiction wish fulfillment for me in one moment. That
was your breaking point?
Yeah, this was the point where it went too far for me. We'll talk about it, but...
No, I broke like 20 minutes ago.
Okay. Ryoko says that Ira might be useful, and Jun says, "Don't forget about Rhythm, the one who everybody said did a crappy jump.
The one that stinks so bad and sucks so bad."
And Rhythm looks annoyed.
Yeah, because she actually put on a show out there.
Yeah, she sang a whole song. She did a whole dance. It was very like mocap, like awkward 3D mocap dance.
Made in Miku Miku dance.
Yeah. So that's the end of the animated content, but there's another live action segment here.
Uh-oh.
Where the Prism mates show Ira's outfit from this episode being put together using Prism stones in the game. So we actually get to see how it would look in the game. It's the only footage I've ever seen from the game. And then they also tell us that black vests are in fashion right now.
Okay.
That's the end.
When did this come out?
2011.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense.
They're basically like talking about the clothes that Ira was wearing at the beginning because she had a black vest on, and they're like, "By the way, girls, wink wink.
She's stylish.
Get a black vest."
From the Prism store.
One of the three Prism mates is wearing a black vest as well, and then the other two are like, "Whoa, you did it." Anyway, the end credits theme was also removed from the subtitled version we have, and I think it's because it seems like whoever did the subtitling chopped out anything that was live action, and there's a lot of live action over the end credits as well, because I think they have like real idol girls performing the end credits song, and you see them in the footage.
Why would you cut that out?
I don't know. But that's why the episode that we had subtitled was only like 16 minutes long. The actual episode is about 24 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
But they cut out all the live action stuff, which is a shame because it's part of the show. It's very clearly part of this show. And then there's the preview for next time, which shows that Ira and Rhythm are going to become classmates and they're going to have a dance-off.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, Ira's klutzy.
That's it. That's all of it. What are your thoughts?
It's not for me. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
No, I thought it was fine. It didn't make a lot of sense.
No.
And there are some things that they could have handled better.
Like the kidnapping?
Yeah, like the kidnapping and the whole, like, all girls should be idols thing. But it looked nice, and I think it probably did what it was aiming to do, which was to make little girls buy Prism stones.
Like, it definitely feels like it knows its target audience, and it probably did really well among preteen girls.
Oh, it definitely did, yeah.
I am not a preteen girl.
No, it's...
And even when I was, I wouldn't have liked it.
I mean, you and I, this is very, very much a feminine show.
Yeah.
And you and I have always been pretty gender neutral.
When I was younger, I was very vehemently against feminine shows. Because I was not like other girls.
Yeah, but
I don't know if you're aware.
You weren't like watching like G.I. Joe and stuff, right? No, you were in the middle, same as I was. Mm-hmm. You weren't into the super feminine stuff, but you weren't into the super masculine stuff either.
No.
Yeah, so we both kind of sit on the same position on that spectrum, I feel like. This, to me, I have the same feeling I do with, like, Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey. This is obviously aimed at a younger audience, but it's the same basic thing. It's that same, like, wish fulfillment.
I do not really like wish fulfillment stuff.
No, me neither.
In any form or fashion. Because, like, I hate that I have to mention it again, but I'm reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, and it's very much wish fulfillment, young adult. And I'm like, ugh, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah, I have never really... I mean, I guess I understand the allure of, like, a wish fulfillment thing, but, like, I don't... It's like with Pokemon, right? Growing up watching Pokemon, and there were so many people around me who were really annoyed by the Pokemon show because Ash loses all the time. Mm-hmm. But I was like, hey, this show's awesome because Ash loses all the time. Like, that made it more interesting to me.
Yeah.
If he won all the time, I would have been like, all right, well, here we go. He's going to win again.
I understand wish fulfillment if you're writing, like, for yourself. If you're creating for yourself. If you're writing a self-insert fanfic. You know what? I get it. You do you. I don't want to read it. You are your own audience. It's not me. You're not fulfilling my wishes.
Yeah. I think with most wish fulfillment things, they really stretch my suspension of disbelief.
Yeah. That's the problem, because everything goes perfectly.
Right, and this one was particularly bad for it. Because, like I was saying, you know, Jun, it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-mm.
There's no through line for him seeing her at the mall falling on her face immediately to she needs to be on stage as a fill-in for the most famous idol in Japan.
She who has no interest, literally only just learned what Prism shows were.
Yeah.
It would have made sense if Rhythm was the protagonist.
Yeah, because she's the one who actually wanted to be there.
Right.
But even then, I'm like, how did she get backstage? And all she did is say, I want to be in the show. And here she is filling in for the most famous idol in Japan.
And then she gets kissed by a cute idol boy.
Oh my god, yeah, that part too. That's the part that really broke me.
Yeah, that's where I was like, oh no.
If it had been, like, if this was like a talent scout show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's how I would have done it. It's a talent scout show. Rhythm is there to audition and finds out at the last minute that the auditions have to be pairs. But she bumped into this girl at the mall and she's like, look, I need a partner. You're coming with me. And she drags her on. And then they audition together.
Yeah, she actually prefers if she sucks because it makes her look good in comparison.
That would have fixed the whole thing for me. Like, if they're just auditioning and it's like an open call and it's Rhythm who drags her on instead of the manager of the most famous idol in Japan.
I'm starting to think that you have problems with this.
What gave you that idea?
I've just known you long enough.
Alright. You know my tells.
I feel like he's trying to tell me something.
But loved the way it looked. Loved the background characters. That's really the thing for me. The background characters. The really brightly colored silhouettes. And some of them were animated even. Like, there were a few that had lines. Like, when Kyoko's in her office, one of those silhouettes is, like, actually talking to her.
Yeah.
And it's like, this isn't it's just an employee of hers, clearly. He wasn't an important enough character that they need to, like, design him. They just made it a silhouette that she turns and talks to and talks back. And I was like, yeah, okay, I like this. It also really helps us to know who the important people are.
It reminded me a lot of background characters in Madoka Rebellion.
Oh, yeah?
Which is a beautiful, wonderful movie.
Yeah.
But you need to watch the show, Mike.
I want to watch it.
You can watch Rebellion.
Listen, I want to watch it with you. That's the thing. Like, you've sold me on it.
Mm-hmm.
You've fully sold me on it, but I want to watch it with you. Because when I know someone who, like, really loves something, I like to watch it with them and, like, bask in their love for the thing, you know?
I guess. I've talked like 3 people into watching it, and they're like, we have to watch it together. I'm like, all right. I guess I can cry 3 more times.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I don't think I know it too well that I'll know what's coming.
I don't think I have anything else to say about this.
No, I don't think I do either.
I hope that the later episodes are more believable.
I get the sneaking suspicion, probably not.
Well, we'll see. Anyway.
Is there a legacy?
No. Well, probably. But I didn't plan anything.
Okay.
If there's a legacy, it's really hard to find out about. So
okay, that's fair.
There's not a lot of English language documentation of these games, unfortunately. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thank you to our Club Mesmeron, Marley the Changeling, for sponsoring this episode. They have their own podcast called The Sonic Second, which you can find on YouTube and Spotify. It's all about Sonic Underground.
We've watched that show.
We've watched that show, yeah. But The Sonic Second goes through every episode, which is something that we have no intention of doing. So if you want a show that goes into more depth about Sonic Underground specifically, then you can head over there.
Do that thing.
Yeah, we will watch more Sonic Underground, but we will not watch all of Sonic Underground. Because there's what, 40 episodes? maybe more. I don't see us covering more than like maybe 10 of them at most.
I don't know. If we go on long enough and we jump the shark, maybe we'll need to.
Hey, if you want us to cover any more episodes of Sonic Underground than that, you could always join our Patreon as a Club Mesmeron and request
Force
that.
us to.
Yeah, that's the rule. Club Mesmerons get to tell us what to do. I mean, the thing is, whenever anybody is asking us to do something, we do pay attention. And we might not do it, people have been asking us to cover Yokai Watch again for over a year and we haven't gotten back to it, but we will. But if you're a Club Mesmeron, we'll prioritize that.
Yeah, that's how it works.
If you'd like to support us and make us do certain things, you can head to patreon.com/SuperBreakfastFriendsClub, where you can join our Club Mesmeron Marley the Changeling, and also our Club VIPs Mark Kelly and Jamie Core, who've been here for quite some time now.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, we appreciate every one of you.
We appreciate that you have given us so much of your time.
Yeah. And everybody else, if you can't afford to kick money at us, we just love that you're here listening. And we're constantly shocked that you're here listening.
Especially me. I still don't believe it.
Every time I send Mel the numbers, she's like, that's not real. That can't be real.
You're just typing things at me. Nobody listens to this show.
I'm Skull Pirate Mike. Come hang out with me on Twitch. I just started playing Yakuza 2. I freaking love Yakuza. It's a fun time.
I need to get into that series.
Yeah, you do. You should come watch me play it on twitch.tv. Skull Pirate Mike.
Well, that's great for the audience you just advertised to, but you always stream when I'm at work.
I stream while you're at work, so that there's nothing stopping me from hanging out with you when you're not at work.
So that as soon as I get home, we can play the booby game and slap butts at each other.
Hell yeah. That really is why. That's basically my current streaming schedule was built around us playing Monster Hunter World. So I was like, okay, I'll stream until Mel gets home, and then I'll play Monster Hunter World with Mel.
You're a sick person.
On Monday, it is Marley the Changeling's birthday. I don't know how old they are.
It's a secret to everyone.
But that's why we're doing this episode now. So happy birthday to our Club Mesmeron, Marley the Changeling.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much for your support. And we hope you have a great day. And we hope you're listening to this on your birthday.
But that means they'd have to put off listening to it.
Well, I think they were planning on doing that anyway.
Oh.
Although I'm not sure.
We don't pretend to read minds except for each other's.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
生まれたての未来たち今を明日を自分を知り私の背中を押す君は咲く君のまま儚くもとうと日々両手広げ受け止めるのいつか届く7つのギフト
Whoa, what was that?
I was showing you a fraction of my power.
It sounded like a sneeze of some kind.
It kind of did. This is just a small portion of my power.